Rev
And
it
now
up.
we're there.
Cook it.
Chat,
We're there.
Chat, should I buy these lobster claw oven mitts?
Boston Warehouse Lobster Claw Oven Mitts, one size red.
Oh, damn it, they're currently unavailable. Never mind. God damn it.
Chat, remember, kill your artists.
It's fucking just... Artists don't have rights. Just kill them.
Well, Thera, you know what that means.
Fish.
Dark Years is like, huh?
Huh?
Kill!
Well, yes, welcome back to another exciting episode of Kazador's Guide to the Cosmos. We're back at it. I am returned from vacation. And we're very excited to get into yet another edition of this fantastic little campaign here. But before we can do that, let's go around the horn and introduce ourselves, starting with the TheropodArt.
Hi, hello, that's me. It's your boy, TheropodArt. Y'all know where to find me. Tuesdays, over here, same place. But other than that, Blue Sky TheropodArt, Tumblr for Affinity TheropodArt, Lizard Fun Bags if you want to see the naughty stuff. Over on Twitch, I'm gonna try to play Dead Space 2 soon. Dead Space 2 does not like new computers, so currently figuring that out right now. But yeah, Dead Space 2. I like the first game, so I'm gonna try the second game. Should be fun. Other than that, commissions are open. I will draw things for money.
A lot of things. A good number of things.
Chat. If you want to hack for getting an artist to draw something you want, give them money. And suddenly they draw what you want. Almost anything. But yeah, that's it. That's me. Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
It was quiet.
You're quiet.
Oh.
All right. Up next, we've got XanillisGrimm.
Hey, yo, that's me, Zan. You can catch me over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/XanillisGrimm, Mondays at 7 p.m. PST for some more Stalwart Souls, D&D campaign, and room with a few friends. Tuesdays, you can catch me right back here, twitch.tv/DistortionDevil, at 1 p.m. PST for some Vecna Eve of Ruin. Then on Thursdays, twitch.tv/Montiglue at 7 p.m. PST for some Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Back here, twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at 3:30 p.m. for some more Kazador's Guide, which you're listening to now. And twitch.tv/TheUnexpectables on Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST for some Gateway. And last but certainly not least, every other Sunday, including I think this Sunday, twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn at 3 p.m. PST for some Those Who Wander. That's me.
Thank you, Dan.
Excellent work. And up next, we have Tixdixl.
Hello. You can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl. I am back from both work and vacation as well. We are sketching some funny little dudes, doing some art, prepping for moving. So just a heads up, things might be a little wonky in the next week or so. But as far as I know, currently scheduled, we do have Sunday, Those Who Wander. If you like spooky stuff, definitely recommend. Last session, so much happened. Plot is definitely picking up. And the party is well on their way to sinking their teeth, metaphorically, of course, into some pretty fun stuff, pretty in-depth plot lines at this point. So definitely stop by, check us out over at Burnout Vaughn's channel. Then we got Monday with another, finally, Scrunkly Cat Afternoon over at Skelly Alpha's channel. We are playing through the off fan game Home, and we should be wrapping that up here soon. Of course, all of us are going in blind, so we don't actually know how much is left. But all of us are guessing based on the original game, probably a session or two, maybe, until we're done. Anything beyond that, I'm not entirely certain about, but I will definitely keep everyone posted as my schedule unfolds. That's me.
Thanks, Saris.
Right on. And we have our wonderful DM for this campaign, Amusing Thalia.
Hello, gang. I am Amusing Thalia. I am the GM here, as introduced by our lovely host, Connor. And I am... Yeah, I do a bunch of TTRPG stuff. I run a rotating game on Mondays around 3 p.m. PST, where we check out a bunch of different TTRPG systems. That's Monday Multiverse. I have a VODs on YouTube for that. And Tuesdays I do some sort of difficult stream. I float around and bother people on their streams a lot during the week. And then I am here on Fridays at 3:30 for this game here. Thank you all for being here. And then I am, for now at least, I am joining the group with Those Who Wander every other Sunday. Very excited and very thankful to be hanging out with such lovely people on that channel. There may be some other stuff in the works, but for now, that is all I can say. And that would, I believe that would be it for me today. Connor?
And last but certainly not least, we have Connor McKinley, freshly back from the war.
It's true, but you already know where to find me. You're either watching this on youtube.com/devilsanddicerolls or patreon.com/devilsanddicerolls. And if you're not doing either of those, you're watching it live on twitch.tv/DistortionDevil. Yeah.
Connor, I heard you got back from a wedding, correct? And I imagine to look pretty spiffy for that. You would have wanted to style up and clean up your beard. How did you do so?
Well, I used some fine, fantastic products from the people over at Beard Sorcery.
Beard Sorcery!
That's right. Beard Sorcery is a fantastic place to stock up on your beard hygiene products, including oils, balms, brushes, combs, shampoos, conditioners, and more. All with a fun fantasy theme, so if you are stepping up your beard care, then look no further than Beard Sorcery. Use code DistortionDevil, save 10% on checkout. Limit 1 per customer. As well, check out Bones Coffee Company. I got myself some Fallout Wasteland Crunch coffee from Bones Coffee Company earlier, and it was quite delicious. And if you want some delicious coffee yourself, check out Bones Coffee Company. Use code DistortionDevil. You can save 10%, and that code is evergreen.
Heck yeah! I don't drink coffee myself. However, my partners do, and they have given it a try, and it is actually very good. They like it a lot.
All right. Well, that being said, Leah, would you like to take us away?
I would be more than happy to.
Let's do it.
If everyone is good to start, then I will begin with a little bit of introduction to the location where you all find yourselves. The Gnosis Cluster. Talak Mirhanak. Freedom Crystallize. Gamir Hanakazor. The Thought Prism. Many names for a singular place. Few places in the multiverse can claim to be neutral ground for any members of the various Gith people. Fewer still offer the security that comes with this community. Tucked away in the hollowed-out skull of a dead god lies a port for the outlaws and vagabonds of the astral sea. Within the cosmos, you will never find a more lawless hub of dregs and vagrantry. And this is where our wayfaring crew finds themselves. Piloting a mysterious new nautiloid, they have arrived hoping to find allies, assistance, and answers to the assassination attempt made on their lives. As the plane shift warps you into this space, the mist and fog and ambient particles of various colors wafting around you, gently parting as the ship makes its way through. The fog, the barrier of vision, breaks away to reveal the skull before you, colossal in size. And as the party briefly interacted with a couple of Gith scouts, seemingly checking the vessel to make sure no one aboard was infected, and this was not some sort of enemy attack, the party has docked their vessel, the Homewrecker, at one of these various iron spikes that find themselves jutting out of the skull, the cranium of this creature that once existed. These iron spikes vaguely sort of colored and reflecting the lights that are drifting out of it, almost nebula-like. What little you can see inside kind of faintly shifting and glowing in various colors. And the vessel you find yourselves docks, resting and kind of pulling up alongside the deck, alongside one of these sort of docks, for lack of a better term. They are carved into these metal or stone, it is difficult to tell, spines that have seemingly been stabbed through the top of this skull in some ancient time. There is no natural aspect to these. These are very clearly some sort of ancient weapon that have been driven into the cranium of this ancient being. And they have these carvings into them where the dock pulls up alongside, and there are these entrances, these hollows that lead into what is ostensibly a spiral staircase leading downward into the skull itself. For Xoruk, you know that as you are in the Astral Sea, a lot of your movement is very much dependent on momentum and control through mid-air. But you've been here before. You are also aware that this location is surprisingly close to Limbo in the Astral Sea. It's part of the reason why it was chosen. And there is enough mental influence that goes into actions here that it can affect your movement. And for those who are practiced or who wish to practice, you can control a lot of your movement just by willfully floating. So many people do not use the staircase. It's mostly for show or for those who do not have the mental capacity to control themselves in that sort of way. But many just literally descend into the central circle leading downwards, because there's no railing. There's a just hole leading downwards, and will just float down it. But pulling up alongside this vessel, the party has a moment to gather themselves and decide how they wish to approach the Gnosis cluster.
Ooh, goddamn!
Holy. Can you actually go back to the MS Paint map?
I actually
I'm
can if
joking.
you'd like.
No. This is good. I'm joking. Wow.
Well done, Leah.
Thank
Jesus
you.
Christ.
Awesome.
Let me zoom
Thank you.
out
I'm
here so we
very-
can have a
Gnosis
gander.
cluster.
The Gnosis cluster.
I'm a Gnosis.
I'm a Gnosis.
Not
Leah, would Xoruk know where Captain Joarth would be?
Captain Joarth. This is a question for you. Do you... Because, just really quickly, Joarth is not your person that you are...
Yeah, we're looking for Dorithny, yeah.
Yeah, Dorothy. Joarth, I just want to double check in my own names because I wrote this. And
You're all
I
good.
just, want to make sure. You would, this is a question for you. Are you familiar with Captain Joarth? And I will give you a brief description of them in the sense that they are a Gith pirate captain, formerly Gith Yankee.
All right.
Or at least having Gith Yankee associations. They are just double checking to make sure I have all my
Gith Yankee in origin, not in loyalty.
Yes, not in loyalty. Though they do run. This is something for you. How you call yourself as the leader of a ship is actually quite notable here. He goes by the term, and they use any pronouns, by the way. But he goes by the term Kithrak, showing a certain sort of adherence to Gith Yankee culture that is maintained on the ship, versus someone like Kazador using the term captain is a bit more widely used amongst other communities.
Mm-hmm.
So having different names for captains, etc., it is something to be to be noted. For example, for just to double check the name Dorithny, they use the term Gahathrak, which means basically ship captain, versus the term Kithrak meaning like military captain.
Right.
However, it is up to you whether or not you think you would know them and whether or not you would recognize their ship.
I think he would probably... It may have wandered in similar circles, but never actually traditionally met.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But I think he would probably know where they would normally haunt on...
Yeah, you probably would
Port.
in that case. They are a larger crew in that case, especially if you've kind of haunted. They are the captain of the Tala Kalakcha, also translated to the Spirit of the Shard Bearer. They are famous because they actually wield a Gith Yankee silver sword.
Oh, okay.
And that is one of their claims to fame.
But yeah, so...
Yes, sorry, my bad. To answer your question, they would be the captain of the big vessel up here.
Got it, okay. And does the spires, they kind of work like docks?
They kind of work like docks, yes. There's a like central spiral staircase that leads down with a like hollowed center that you can sort of descend down using mental telepathy and telekinetic control. There's this certain aspect of like Limbo's influence here that allows you to have just willful control over your movement, and a lot of people just levitate down if you have that sort of ability.
Fair enough. Xoruk is going to touch one of the spires with the exposed hand and kind of mentally connect with it and attempt to reach out to Dorithny.
Alrighty.
Just with a just kind of mental note. Hey, go ahead. Roll it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, roll me either an intelligence or a wisdom check. Actually, no, I'm going to say for you don't have... I was going to say, do that. This is going to show, for you specifically, it'll be how easy it is. For anyone else, it'll be whether or not they can. With your familiarity here, due to your backstory and your connection with Limbo, I will say a lot of simple psychonetic abilities you can just activate while you are in this location. And a sort of mental connection goes through. You can treat this sort of like a message spell if you'd like to send a message.
If that is the case, then he will kind of press a hand towards there, close his eyes, try to blank his mind for a moment to really focus in on what he wants and recognize that there is a person here that there's a way to connect to these two figures that he's looking for. So he will kind of take a breath out and will speak aloud, hopefully in the direction of Dorithny's name.
Oh, sorry. Are you connecting to Dorithny or Jorth?
Dorithny specifically in this case.
Got it. In which case, and I don't know if I might have missaid this before. This is Joe Art's ship. If I said Dorithny, that's my bad.
No. I switched up. Realizing that Joe Arth is outside, he's going to try and reach Dorithny so that they can walk there together rather than.
Got it. Yeah, you know the ship is outside. You're not certain if Joe Arth is. With your kind of mental connection, actually, I will say, with your mental sort of connection to them, you do get the sense they are vaguely in this direction. So you would assume that they're in the ship, but you would know it's also very common for ships to set up like temporary living quarters in the Galakth or the ship farm down there.
Sure, but considering Xoruk has familiarity with Dorithny, it would make more sense for him to walk with Dorithny towards this captain than this person he only kind of knows, bringing him to Dorithny.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so go ahead with your mental connection to Dorithny. Just to sorry for interrupting that.
No, you're quite all right. Dorithny, are you there?
Say a bit of a pause before you get a. Is that Xoruk?
Good to hear your voice, Dimples. A new crew and I are awaiting at one of the major docks. It would appear that someone else needs to have an acquaintance with you. Would you care to walk there together?
You would be referring to Joar, yes?
Aye.
Perhaps you can smooth something out for us then, yeah. I'd appreciate it.
We await at the docks. Bit of Nautiloid.
You're running on a Nautiloid now.
Not certain for how long, but for the time being, yes.
We're docked inside. Got some ship repairs to take care of. You'll find us in the Galakth.
Alright. We'll meet you there. And, Dimples. This Joe Arth fella. I've only heard reputation for the most part. Everything alright between you two?
There was, kind of like a little bit of a sigh. I'm gonna have you roll me a persuasion check with advantage, because this is representative of your like familiarity with this person and your comfort, but at the same time, yeah.
And this is a mental connection, so it's gonna be harder to hide those.
Absolutely. You sense a moment of hesitation. You're not certain exactly why. It was a bit of a botched job. I ended up having to rely on them for some help. Kind of only made it here as a result. They've been trying to rope me into running under their flag for a bit, at least for, to say something important, and I've been hesitant to get involved. They've been working with Jarzil. And this is up to you. Actually, with your backstory, I'm just going to have you roll a history check to see if you know who Jarzil is.
Got it. Ooh, probably not. 6.
Yeah, with a 6, you're not certain you've heard the name, or at least if you might know the ship, but not the captain.
I suppose we can catch up once my crew and I arrive there. You're at Lake.
Yeah, Galak. Yes, we are set up just below green and yellow.
Very well. We will arrive shortly.
You hear kind of like, you get a mental sense of acknowledgement, ostensibly.
Xoruk will break the connection, and for any of the crew that looks at him, a momentary break in his more terse face will kind of have a warm smile before it slowly fades back into that very terse, controlled image of himself. I have an idea as to where we should go first. He says towards Kazador.
You do? Well, then I suppose I'll allow you to lead the way.
There's a place referred to as translates to the ship farm. There's a captain there I know well. If we are to get more information, I think we should go through them.
Very well.
I'll leave it to you then. Marine kind of pipes up. I have a couple connections here, but they're a bit insular, so I probably would not do so well dragging you all along. I'll wait here until at least one of you get back. Maybe when you rest or something, I'll head in. I'll watch the ship in the meantime.
A wise precaution, First Mate. A not alloyed will not necessarily be seen with fond eyes here.
Xoruk, myself and Hakka are relatively inexperienced when it comes to matters in the Astral Sea. Would you mind taking point for now?
Right, of course. You see these pillars, large crystalline structures?
Yes.
They act similar to piers. Large courses of psionic energy, similar to that of Limbo. If you make manifest your mind and know what you want, you will be guided towards wherever you seek. In this case, either towards your not alloyed or towards your target. More importantly, gravity here is somewhat of a suggestion. Know where you stand. Know that it will not give out underneath you, and you will not fall into the void. Is that clear?
Crystal clear.
I believe I understand. These large spikes jutting out of this gigantic skull, what material do they appear to be made of?
I'm gonna have you roll an Arcana check.
Her. Here I go.
I'm very glad you asked.
That is an 11.
An 11. It is genuinely difficult to tell. Looking at it, it has sort of reflective properties, somewhat like metal. But as you step off the ship and kind of put your hand, it's carved out. And it has kind of cold, rough texture on the inside, sort of like stone. It's kind of almost glass-like a little bit as well, just due to perhaps the smoothness and the way it feels, perhaps somewhat akin to obsidian.
It doesn't remind me of another material I am more than familiar with, does it?
To an extent, it might, yes.
I think Kazador will just like look at the spike. He'll like kneel down and he'll brush his fingers across it, and he'll just get sort of a pensive look on his face.
It's not the same. It's decidedly not the same, but there are similarity. The way it mimics multiple different types of materials at once is pretty unique, and you've only ever seen that in that substance before.
I think using the information that Xoruk just gave him, and being a bit put off by whatever this is, Kazador's just going to think, I don't want to be touching this right now, and will levitate off of the spike.
Absolutely. With anyone, I believe all of you have the ability, or have above a or have a 16 or higher in a mental stat, correct?
Oh,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. In which case, all of you can, using some version of will, either your influence over manifest of the world around you, either your conviction of self and determination, or your knowledge of how mental acuity and psychic connection work. And in some way, you would find yourself able to move willfully about the space.
I see.
Sorry to interject. You said above a 16?
A 16 or higher.
Negatives. Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, fair enough.
I believe you. I thought you had a 16 in charisma.
I have a 14 as my highest mental stat. That isn't charisma.
Well,
charisma does count.
Charisma actually would work here because it's force of will.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It is force of will. Charisma is very helpful.
Yeah, we're
for
good.
this.
We're 16. Yep.
There, any mental stat.
I wasn't sure how we were running charisma. That's good.
I personally run charisma as force of will, force of personality,
Yeah.
and force of conviction.
Okay. Good to know.
It's your serving stat.
It is my serving stat. Thank
Mhm.
you for acknowledging it. But yeah, no, we're good. Sorry about that.
Mentally,
No, I appreciate the transparency.
mentally into his companions' minds, Xoruk will say, "Follow me," and will begin to float towards the ship farm.
Alrighty. Xoruk just descends, not using the stairs, down this tube, basically, through the center, almost like a hypodermic needle, and eventually to a bottom, where there's a door on the floor. Again, gravity is a suggestion. And Xoruk, as you will the door to open, it grates kind of across the substance in which this is made of, and opens out into the wideness and breadth of the Galak, the ship farm. It is immediately different in here than outside, not just in visuals, but in temperature, in vibe, in busyness. There is a palpable energy in this space of life and living. There are crews that are bustling back and forth between various ships. There are locals seemingly plying some sort of market at kind of in the center area. There are a few different notable temporary living setups that have been set up on this open platform, essentially, that has been constructed in the center of the skull. A lot of different tents and lean-tos have been set up for crews to find solid ground to rest on. And before you have a moment to look out for Dorith Nee, or to look out for wherever your goal would be, there is a sort of immediate interruption. You notice a group of people kind of milling about right at the base of the spire you're heading out of, seemingly in wait. And I would say genuinely that Xoruk, you likely would not... Actually, no, now that I think about it, you may have run with this crew previously, and I will leave that to you. But you notice there is there's a captain. I will say you would know the captain as the fact that they use captain despite being a Gith, which is somewhat notable. She is kind of tall. She has many, many scars across her face and chest and arms, which are currently bare and open. Her hair is very, very shortly cropped to the point where it is closing in on buzz cut, but not quite. Maybe it's a little grown out. And she's talking with a very strange, eclectic group. There is another couple Gith. However, there is an individual seemingly made of mirror-like substance, like liquid mirror-like substance. They have just like an outfit on and everything, and like a little tricorn hat, but the body underneath is just perfectly smooth, reflective material. There is a sort of, for lack of a better term, wolf furry that's standing kind of next to them with...
Real quick, the metallic, or the mirror like, is it like a mannequin but like all reflective surfaces kind of deal, where it's like there's no...
it's almost smooth and liquid.
Oh, okay.
Like mercurial, I think, is a good term for it.
Okay.
But more white, more reflective. I would say anyone who'd like to try to recognize any of these creatures or species or beings as what they are, welcome to roll me blanket Arcana checks. Any other questions before I move on? Because there are a few other members of this very eclectic crew that are like milling about the base of the spire.
Yeah, it makes sense. Hakka wouldn't know.
That also makes sense that Vex wouldn't know. That's a 4.
17?
17. The mirror-like individual is known as a Nera, Nerra. They come from genuinely a location known as the Plane of Mirrors. Not much is known about them. Very, very little is known about them. You're surprised to even see one. It's extremely rare for them to be on any plane other than the Plane of Mirrors. Continuing onward, there is what I described, the wolf furry. They have sort of loose, almost martial arts attire on that kind of like hang, like very loose sleeves, very, very loose legs that they can have a lot of movement with. And they're kind of standing on wooden sandals, and they have a bunch of like braids and bows in the fur across them. And they have a somewhat ornate looking scimitar kind of strapped across their back. In addition, there are what is probably very recognizable to any one of you, as they are relatively common even on Faerun to an extent, a Gif, a hippopotamus person, who is kind of leaning on what looks like a double-barrel shotgun that they're kind of using almost like a cane sort of situation and they're talking to the rest of the crew that is here. Very clearly a crew of individuals. There are two individuals who almost have the same sort of physicality about them. They're both kind of large and bulky, kind of ogre shaped. They just have loose pants on. They don't have like a belly button. They don't have nipples, but they do have like pectorals. They don't really have eyes. They don't really have a nose, but they have vaguely almost, this is more mannequin-like for you, Zan. Mannequin-like features where it's just kind of indented inward. One is orange in color, the other is yellow in color. And lastly in this group, there is a somewhat spider-looking individual. Not really in like physical appearance, but purely in the sense that they have 6 arms and 2 legs. And the arms are moving kind of independently as they're talking. They have a kind of elongated, tall face with 2 large, almost crystalline eyes on either side, but otherwise humanoid features. I would allow Arcana checks for any of the other ones as well, for if anyone would like to recognize. And for you, Xoruk, it's up to you whether or not you would know this crew or have worked with this crew before.
30, 20.
13.
15.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think Xoruk would like be trying to singularly focus in on his target in this case.
Got it. Yeah, so not really focused on this
Yeah.
eclectic group. Fair enough. In that case, I would say, especially with the others kind of keeping an eye out and looking around them, I think it makes sense that there would be some sort of awareness or at least desire to know about. With the different checks, I'm going to give you all recognize various things in various difficulty. Kazador, you recognize the GIF as mentioned, but you also recognize the furry for what it is. It's a celestial of some kind. They have, the giveaway is the fact that, and it was a little hard to tell due to the fact that the crystals above you are glowing and giving sort of an ambient light source to everything. So it wasn't immediately obvious, but they have a little bit of light that they're giving off. This sort of blue-yellow light that's they're almost gently glowing. And you notice it as they kind of move around. It reflects off of the like clothing and crystalline eyes of that one individual, that sort of thing. And that makes a lot of sense. A lot of celestials have animalistic features. With I'm going to say this makes sense for Hakka. The sort of spider-like individual is a creature of some myth and legend known as a spell weaver. You've heard like tales of them. They're meant to be sort of mystical beings of magic, ancient weavers of spells from before time was recorded. It's myths and like legends about them, but to see one in person is somewhat unique. And lastly, for Saris and for Vex, you would recognize the two large ogre mannequin people, like colored ogre mannequin people. You would recognize them for what they are as Rilmani.
Can I get a spelling on that, please?
Yep, I will add a spelling for that. Rilmani.
Thank you, spelling.
You're welcome. Which you would recognize as being, and I think this can kind of make some sense for you with your history and sigil and traveling around. They are very, very aggressively neutral creatures. Have sort of a place within the great cosmos as not being associated with any major outer planar entities. their culture is to enact neutrality. So whenever places get really infested with one sort of celestial or demon or fiend or fae or angel or anything like that, Realmani will occasionally show up to just clear it out, that kind of situation. For example, when the Blood War got really, really bad for a brief period, a bunch of Realmani helped out Hell to push back the demons, that kind of thing. But at the same time, they've also shown up to stop devils from invading planes before.
And
Xoruk.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Just for clarification, these crew members that you're discussing, are they just kind of like chilling out, talking amongst themselves? Are they doing something that we would like acknowledge as some sort of be it, you know, a task, or do we just notice them essentially?
The reason why I am describing them and why I'm pointing them out in particular, and why I took time to describe them in the way that I did, is you would see this group as you all pretty clearly as you all exit the spire. They would be milling about the base of it, and immediately upon you all exiting, the Gith woman that I described at the beginning would turn and open arms wide, big smile on the face. You must be the Gate Hunters! Addresses the party immediately. Like, Xoruk, you are like you're kind of looking for Dorith, and this individual calls up towards you and begins to walk towards you with the crew making their way kind of behind like a crowd.
Xoruk will think to ground himself to the ground to allow gravity to kind of feel more or less normal, and give a honorific bow. Captain.
And I'm gonna actually see if they recognize you. Would you have run with this crew at all before? Up to you.
If they are Gake hunters, then yes, he is known colloquially as the Grave of Gake. Xoruk is, so it would make sense.
Grave of Gay.
Grave of Gake.
Fair enough. In which case, you would know the name of this ship. It is a modified lamprey vessel, and it is very famous for being a Gate Hunter ship. The name of the ship is literally Githzerai, which literally means mind flayers can eat shit. And the captain, Quasteel is her name, and I will put that spelling out as well, is also quite famous for being a bit of a Gith hunter. Maybe not in the same sort of grave of Gake as you are, more in the sense that they hunt nautiloids and Gake across the plains. They aren't known for killing quite the same number as you have. More of a hunter than an assassin. But would look across the group, kind of acknowledge your bow. That makes a lot of sense. Xoruk! You know, there's always a spot on my crew for you.
It is appreciated, Captain. But my path is my own.
Aye. Just could use your hands. Miss you cutting them up.
He'll give a deep bow and move to kind of give them a dagger check.
They would pause for, there's like a sort of reflexive movement in defense, but would then allow it.
Kind of embracing the forearms will kind of bring his head in a very familiar tone to the captain, kind of giving a warming Gith response of like, I come in peace. Then release the dagger check. May I introduce you to the captain of which I currently serve under, Captain Kazador.
Captain Kazador! Another captain, a pleasure. Captain Quasteel of the Githzerai.
Likewise, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well. I am Kazador Rain of the KSS Homewrecker.
That must be the Nautiloid out there, if I had to guess, yes?
Correct.
Lovely vessel, never seen anything like it.
We poached it.
Look over at you, Xoruk. Anyone of note?
I believe before we arrived, albeit, they were in possession of Ibignal's vessel.
Would kind of cock an eyebrow at that. That's been on a few different lists for some time now.
Aye.
Well, you must be running in good company then. Was hoping I could perhaps poach some of your crew, but seems you're kind of small and... Looks at you, Xoruk. You're not one that's easily convinced.
You have strong hands, Captain. I appreciate that in a leader. But for now, we have business. It seems as though we have walked into a certain web of intrigue, Vex and I. And I want to make sure that this captain isn't also wound up in our own business.
Very well, I'll leave you to your business, but looks across the group of you. If you have a taste for Gake blood now, seek me out.
You honor us, Captain, and I am certain to make the recommendation to our crew. That being said, have you seen Dorith around?
Would point kind of behind you, underneath the spire that you walked down through, at the very intricate, well-maintained, well-loved, and modified Gith vessel that is the Gith pirate ship that Dorith captains, known as the Zanvir, Freedom's Breath.
He will give a nod of acknowledgement, kind of keeping that more stone face, and will give a perhaps far too cordial a bow to the Gith captain.
It's less cordial and more very almost very familiar, less sort of openly happy and more sort of like just kind of like a little bit of a flourished half bow. We'll get out of your hair. We'll find if you do decide to take us up on our offer. We'll be at the Starlack, which you would know translates to cowardly traitor. It was kind of a derogatory term used for a lot of Gith pirates who stayed out of, and or other Gith factions that stayed out of the war between the Githyanki and the Githzerai. And it is also the name of the tavern.
All right.
And that crew begins to make their way off as they kind of descend down the spire and down the stairs. You notice a lot of the individuals walking as if they have gravity, probably for sake of ease on their end. The Nara, the mirror individual with the sort of tricorn hat, would stare at you all for a little bit longer than everyone else, kind of tip the hat. You would know this individual to be the vice captain of that ship. Kind of tips the hat and then makes their way after.
Would I be able to insight check that stare?
Sure.
Like,
I mean, they have a very
It's like look,
impassive face, but you're welcome to give it a try.
It's more like a intent. Like, is this because you know how sometimes if someone is like studying you,
putting together thoughts, they might stare at you a little longer before they turn and leave.
You
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
If Vex is doing a vibe check.
Yeah.
It's like looking into a mirror.
You know, that makes sense. No, an 8 makes sense.
There is, what you can read from it is some sort of curiosity of some kind.
Sounds good.
There's definitely a looking you all up and down vibe to it. You can't get really more than that before they
There,
tip the hat
there
and
is-
then make their way off.
there is a looking glass joke in here somewhere, but I can't quite.
You know what? I feel you, but I cannot come up with it right now.
We're gonna end the stream, and it's gonna be like, damn it!
Yep, exactly.
Xoruk, as you kind of turn around and look towards the Zanzvir, sorry, there is basically no time for you to recognize. There you go. For you to recognize sitting on a chair, kind of near the vessel itself, very much taking a load off. Dorith.
Xoruk will, perhaps far too familiarly, kind of float over before letting gravity take hold again towards Dorithny.
Partway through the float over, and everyone else, I assume you are all following?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They immediately sort of address you with their body language. They turn towards you and don't shoot up, but there is definitely a sort of cleaning themselves up and standing up kind of swiftly and moving very warmly towards Xoruk.
Xoruk will embrace him with a sort of dagger check into a hug, and the foreheads and bridges of the nose will kind of touch as he mentally connects with Dorithny in person.
It's good to see you again, Dimples.
Good to see you too, love.
After the embrace, we'll kind of more formally stand at attention.
Captain Kazador, may I introduce you to...
Would he be Kithrak?
Uses the term Ga'athrak, which means
Ga'athrak.
ship captain.
Yeah.
It's very common among Gith pirates to use the term. It is a similar association to Kithrak, but it does not have the association with Gith Yankee military.
Right.
May I introduce you to Gathrak Dorithny?
Pleasure
Your
to make your
new
acquaintance.
captain looks at you kind of inquisitively.
I am Captain Kazador Rain of the KSS Homewrecker.
Ah. Gathrak Dorithni Dala Zanvir.
A pleasure.
Well, looks over at Xoruk and places a shoulder very familiarly on a hand on very familiarly on Zoruk's shoulder. No, you've brought me Xoruk. Pleasure's all mine.
I like to imagine as Dorithny is sort of, looking at Xoruk and Kazador right there, that very, in a friendly, lean out from behind the person, probably Xoruk, that they are standing behind. Vex just offers, a very polite wave.
Would kind of lean back, smile. Wow, you're still tagging along. Got to say I'm jealous. Not many people that Xoruk can stand being around that long.
I definitely don't take it for granted, but I'm all the more appreciative of it every single time this lovely individual takes me for a, shall we say, a joyride.
Xoruk's gonna very quickly pitch the conversation.
Apologies. We do not mean to interrupt your leisure, of course, but we arrive in somewhat of a dire circumstance.
Looks at you a little quizzically.
As you might know, we served with Captain Marine, a job trying to hunt down Ibignal and a few other geek around. Vex and I were instrumental in bringing down many of their ships, but we uncovered that the entire job was a plot for us to either kill this Captain Kazador and Hakka, or for them to kill us. We're currently pulling on that thread as to who may have caused this job to happen in the way that it did.
Do you have any leads? Anything I can look into for you? Any information so far?
Well, the Gith that set our coordinates to the ship, they were riding red dragons.
Kachaki!
From what we understand, the job came not directly, but through a number of back channels to Marine through Admiral Redeemus.
Shakazanai!
What?
Leans to Kazador.
What are they saying?
I don't know. I don't speak
Yeah,
Gith.
Kazador, do you speak Gith?
I do not speak Gith.
Yeah, Hakka doesn't speak Gith, so he has no idea.
You would know, Xoruk, the two things that have been said so far. Kachaki means idiot, probably referring to not to you in particular, but to the situation, like stupid. And then the second term with Shakatzanai, which means that is not honorable.
Yeah. I have the dictionary right on my other hand, so every time you say something, I got it right there.
But nonetheless, they look around. Well, then it'll be a little bit complicated. I don't know anything about that bleeder themselves, but what I do know is that there is someone here who definitely will. Radamus, that's the naval officer, yes?
Correct.
Kithrak Charzil. That's who would know more. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if the two of them are friendly. So be careful.
I appreciate the information, of course. That being said, came to Nosis trying to understand more of this situation that we find ourselves in, only to find out that it would seem that Kithrak Jo'arth wants a word with you. What's that all about?
How familiar are you with the Blood War? Looks more across the group than you, knowing that you would know.
Yeah.
At least somewhat about it.
I'm assuming this is in reference to the divide.
The Blood War being the
Infinite war
yeah.
between devils and demons.
Yeah,
Would this be a
yeah,
religion check?
Yeah.
If you do not feel like your character would immediately know about it, then yes, it would be.
26.
Yes, yeah, you know about the Blood War for various reasons, including, I would say, Kazador, you don't have to roll. You know
Kazador would know.
all about the Blood War.
He's very familiar with devils.
And I'll
But-
just say anything that anything that Hakka knows about the Blood War, Kazador just told him.
I'm familiar.
I
Well,
feel like Vex will clear their throat at that. In acknowledgement, but not wanting to say anything aloud.
kind of nods. I was given information on a location and a caravan of devilish materials heading through astral space. We tried to interrupt, but they were much more heavily guarded than we were expecting. I was fortunate enough, though I don't fully believe this was coincidence, that the Rastil Kaintir contacted me, letting me know that the Tlakalak, the Zorth's ship, is like talking in Gith, and then is like, wait,
Trying to translate. Yeah.
But would like look over Zorth's ship. They were nearby. I ended up having to call them in to assist. And ever since then, they've been... Well, let's just say they said I owed them one, and there have been... I haven't been wanting to get involved while I'm here. I don't want the... Looks again at you, Xoruk. I like this place the way it is. I don't really want to get involved with interpersonal conflicts here, but there is some tension between the Vakrathki and the Talakmair right now. And Joarth being important in the Vakrathki, it's hard to say.
Dorith, you should pay your debts. Quicker rather than later. You of all people should know a debt is like a sword hanging over one's head. The longer it is ignored, the heavier it gains until it falls.
Well, I would much rather owe one to you than to them. Perhaps you can help me out?
He'll take kind of a deep breath, taking a less familiar tone, or a stance, I should say.
I would love to help. That being said, I serve with another captain now, and he has made his wants far more clear than most. It is not up to me.
He would look towards Kazador.
Kazador thinks for a moment. I think it is best that we start our journeys off on the right foot. That being said, if there is a way we can aid each other in this, I would not
You
be
are very
opposed.
kind. You are very kind for saying so, Captain. That being said, Dorith has already given us the information to pull on the leads that we need. Any further assistance you would lend would be a kindness.
An all too scarce commodity in these times. And one that I am more than willing to share. Again, I would not be opposed.
If you were to assist us, I can guarantee that my ship would be at your call, should you need. I wish not to be indebted to them for many reasons. But again, looks at you, Xoruk. I suppose you're right. Perhaps I could just suck it up and see what they wish me to do.
If I could make a recommendation, perhaps we all travel together. Seeing you armed with not just yourself, but another captain and a different crew might change their perceptions on the situation.
Kind of nods slowly, sort of along with what you're saying. You see, they kind of reach down. He kind of reaches down into his clothes and pulls out a small pouch and a long tube with a little bowl at the end. Very intricate-looking pipe. And just begins to pack some and just very quizzically smokes a little bit. Sorry, haven't kicked it yet.
It's quite all right. That being said, Joart's vessel is docked, yes? We should make this quicker rather than slower.
Aye. Yes, you're right, you're right. Okay. They kind of do the, not that they are an old man, but they do the slap on the legs, stand up.
Well,
Yep, the well.
Oh, so they're not old, they're just Midwestern. Understood.
Yep. Saris,
Yeah.
are you comfortable with a character in this crew having some physical familiarity with?
Yes.
Very well. There is a kind of stretch call out. Pano, watch the ship while I'm gone. I'm going to talk with Joarth. And coming up from below the dock, one of the only two non-Gith crew members, because you would know Xoruk. There are a couple non-Gith crew members that, over the course of just sailing for many years across the Astral Sea, they've picked up, including the vice captain, who is a very large yak man.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
He is from, you would know him to be, you and Vex, having some familiarity with him, would know him to be from Arborea, and is just a very, very zealous freedom fighter. Was the kind of situation where when Dorith kind of described his intentions and what his like goals and life plan was, this person was just like, hell yeah, I'm in, 100%, I'm down, when are we leaving, that kind of situation. Yakman kind of pops the head up from the deck, eyes go wide a little bit as they eye Saris, as they eye Vex, and they kind of leap over, buddy, and they kind of rush towards you.
I'm gonna,
Big
like,
arms open.
big gremlin stance, like firmly plant my feet, like I'm ready for impact.
Yep. And 3, 2, poof! As they full lift you up off the ground. Big squeeze before setting you back down.
You hear,
Good to
like,
see you.
You hear like several vertebrae pop.
oh gosh.
Ah, my goodness, it's so good to see you. And you seem, and like I'm gonna do like the arm thing where like you pat the other, like when there's a bit of separation, you like pat the other person's arm. Looks like you're still in pretty good shape, all things considered.
I try not to let the low weight in the seas affect me, so I carry heavier things.
Makes perfect sense. I'm just kind of looking them about, like seeing how they're doing.
Yeah, they're kind of doing the lean in, like mouth a little agape. They're just very excited at the moment, but they calm down for a second. They look back over at Dorothy. Watch the ship. Yes, aye, Captain. Looks down, kind of gives Vex a big slap on the back, sort of pat, just like, really good to see you. When you get back, we should play chess.
And I would love to hear about what stories you've been cooking up. I'm sure you have plenty of things to share.
I don't remember a lot of the stuff we've done, but I've been practicing chess.
Oh my god, he's an idiot. I love him.
So good. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see you beat me.
I beat Dorothy once, and you see Dorothy kind of put the head in the face. I don't know what happened.
He kept eating all the pieces.
She just keeps eating batteries.
When This is so terrible to say. When he says that he has beaten Dorothy, you know the I'm so sorry. The white girl gape smile, like the like they just heard the juiciest of tea, and they kind of do the thing where they have like like looking between the speaker and the shall we say acquired target. Vex does that.
Dorothy, I don't know what happened. He beat me. I want to say it was a fluke. No, I won. Xoruk, as your leave, kind of gestures.
While that conversation was happening, Xoruk would kind of slide over towards Kazador and, in a hushed tone, in a private mental connection,
Captain, if I may make a recommendation further as to movements forward.
I think Kazador, he jumps again, just not used to the mental connection, but he, like, jolts a bit, and then looks right at you. Go on.
Out here, reputation is made manifest into opportunity. You do not have one yet, and therefore the opportunities go through me. I wish for that to change. And that would begin with you taking lead towards our next destination. I will mentally guide you, but if you are seen moving us towards our next objective, I believe it will make solid and will manifest your reputation here.
Sound logic. Very well.
And like kind of mentally using the telepathy feat, Xoruk will kind of point out the pillar that we need to go towards, just towards Kazador.
All right. Kazador will look back over at the rest of his crew.
Where to next?
Follow me. And Kazador will begin floating over to where Xoruk pointed out.
Alrighty, you begin floating up towards the pillar that leads towards the ship in which you would be meeting this individual. As you head into the spire itself and begin to ascend the staircase upwards, there is a spot partway up, very close to the dock where you're fairly certain where Xoruk is leading you to the Joarth's ship. There is a spot where there's another dock, a smaller dock, most of the way up. And Xoruk, but I would think also Kazador and Hakka, would recognize that a few of the individuals who are milling about this ship, a couple of them carry something like inside and then descend down the pillar, and you pass them a little bit as you are moving up. They have very clearly Githyanki military attire on, like equipment. The very classic silvery bright armor with a lot of movement but also heavy plating. They seem very, very militant in how their behavior operates. And as you all pass, a couple of them don't like give you the stink eye, but they definitely make note of it.
I do have the soldier background.
Mm-hmm.
Could I do some sort of
Roll me an insight check with advantage.
Okay. Oh boy. Insight? 16.
You want the 16 or the 16?
16!
I'm feeling the 16.
Not the 16?
You know what? You've convinced me. I'll take that 16.
Okay, 16 it is. With the 16, you can kind of recognize that while there is militarism to them, it is not exacting. They are either not on duty or are retired military or are military with a very lax commander of some kind, or there's something else happening here. They're not entirely military. There's a little bit too much of casual behavior around them. A couple of them are sitting, playing cards, or the equivalent of cards. It's a tile game where they kind of like look over and eye the group up. You would, however, note what you think is likely the captain as you kind of pass by the dock that looks out onto the ship. And on the map, it is this ship here that you all are passing.
Okay.
It is very. There is what looks like the captain is sort of on the deck of the ship and is like looking around, and they are like straight as an arrow. They look much more either well trained or maintaining that military persona than a lot of the crew. But they are kind of eyeing up and down, and their head swivels and watches your group pass.
Yeah, as we're walking, Hakka would just take his helmet off and kind of make eye contact with that captain and just do a little chin up. Just a little chin up, just nod of just acknowledgement.
They don't do the chin up. They don't even do the head nod. They just meet your gaze.
For Hakka, if it matters as well, Xoruk is wearing the exact same Githyanki military armor, but instead of the kind of bright silvers and reds, it is kind of a more subdued, darker gray metal with purple accent instead.
I believe
as you all go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. As we're walking away and out of earshot of the soldiers, just Hakka just says,
I believe the term for that situation is a powder keg. When you let soldiers sit idly around, they can get antsy. Weapons of war aren't meant to just sit around and collect dust. We should be on guard.
Hakka would put his helmet back on and keep walking.
And eventually make your way to the dock housing the Tla-Kalakcha, the spirit of the shard bearer. A massive Gith pirate warship. Sails on the top and on the bottom. Heavy, what looks almost like chitinous plating placed on the outside of the wooden hull protectively, covering it with sort of a dome-like structure. Crew milling about, seemingly repairing the last little bits of repairs from what looked like a recent battle aboard. Others carrying equipment across, either up and down, across top decks. And once again, as you all approach, sitting in a stool, leaned against the entrance to this dock, toothpick in mouth, the Gith that invited you all here. Looks over. Oh, y'all made your way here then.
We did indeed.
Dorith Nee would speak up to say, just to address them. Kithrak Nai Kaintir. Kithrak Nai meaning like below Kithrak.
Kazador Rain, KSS Homewrecker.
Looks at you, says something in Gith which you would translate Xoruk to unfamiliar, but then would kind of smile. Vice Captain Kaintir of the Tla-Kalakcha.
A pleasure. Is your captain available?
I could fetch them for you. Looks over at Dorith. Is it the same business that he is here for?
We're just trying to establish.
We're here more or less to help Dorithny. Our target for information is a different Kithrak named Charzil.
Yes. I believe we are.
Very well. They stand up. Well, all right. Follow me. I'll go. Our captain's in their quarters, so if you just follow me, we'll eventually make it there. And I assume y'all follow them onto the deck of this ship?
While I assume Kazador and Dorithny kind of take lead as the captains, Xoruk is in a very catty way going to be like kind of giggling and walking next to Vex in hushed tones. Kind of letting Dorithny kind of just stew in whatever's happening here.
There is definitely some stewing going on. There's some discomfort. They're looking around. They keep looking back. He keeps looking back towards you for like confirmation that you're still there.
And he's just not going to give me. He's just going to be talking and joking with Vex.
Keeps kind of looking back at you nervously to the point where eventually, as you're kind of walking, Dorothy would address Kazador instead.
Yeah.
So, Kazador, you're familiar with... How long have you known Xoruk?
Immediate panic sets in.
It's been just a day, right?
I believe we had did we have a long rest or a short rest? I know we had a rest of some sort.
You had a short rest.
So at least an hour.
Oh my god.
Kazador will be honest, erring on the side of caution. We've not been long in the Astral Sea. We only know of your captain through reputation. Xoruk is more familiar than I am.
Dorothy kind of nods. Well, I'm the captain of my ship. I don't actually work for Joarth. And at that, Kind Tier, the Gith leading you all, just leans back. Yet. And there's a little bit of a scowl from Dorithny, like of discomfort with that statement, as Kind Tier, still kind of chewing on the toothpick, just kind of lets out a low chuck, like a before eventually leading you to a cabin door where they do some sort of knock. After a pause, a second follow-up before you hear Tsukva as a just like low guttural Gachaki. There's a pause before they kind of wait, like the vice captain kind of waits a second before before opening the door for you all and kind of gesturing. They're in a good mood.
Xoruk will send bits like kind of eyeing the situation and just being very friendly with Vex. We'll send a quick mental communication to Kazador. I'll send you the message, Connor.
Video.
Tell them we come as allies. In our language, it is an honorific.
Very well. Kazador will raise his voice slightly. We arrive as Rostil.
There is a pause before you hear kind of a I would hope so. Please, come in, come in.
And Kazador
As
will
you all
look back at
enter-
Xoruk and nod, and then he will float into the room.
Everyone kind of following into the cabin, you would find a well-furnished and very utilitarian room. Maps cover almost every single blank surface of locations in the Astral Sea, locations in Limbo, locations in the Hells, locations in what looks like celestial locations, the Phlogiston, the Outlands. There's a map of Sigil in here. It is decked with maps. And the individual is currently leaning over a very well-made table, which is either carved or worked into the actual floor itself to keep it steady. And they're leaning onto it with a heavy body. This is probably the physically largest Githyanki you've ever seen. Their body typing is not that of most traditional Githyanki. They are almost pot-bellied and broad-shouldered, but there is very clear muscle and power there. Not strapped across their back, actually hanging above what looks to be just their bed behind them. This seems to be the captain's cabin. But hanging above the bed is an ornate silver sword with several red gems encrusted across it. The individual wears long red and black coat, which just hangs off the shoulders. They don't have their arms in sleeves, and covers or obscures but does not completely cover what looks like modified Githyanki armor underneath that has been layered with more heavy metal plating. You have never seen a Githyanki in the equivalent of full plate before, and you think that this is likely that.
Naru Hodo.
We should kill this guy and take his ship.
It's true. I cast Fireball, 9th level.
No!
Leah, are there like areas for drinks and food and things like that to be served?
Yes, there in fact would be. There's a little, not stool, there's like a little wooden bar nearby that has some glasses and stuff set atop it.
Xoruk's gonna walk over towards this little wood bar, pour a drink for Captain Kazador, hand it over, and then take some time to really make a special spice drink. Really put extra effort into it, and walk over to Vex and serve Vex.
Hell yeah. The captain kind of eyes you a little bit with a cocked eyebrow before gesturing in front of them. And as they gesture in front of them towards nothing, seemingly appearing manifest out of the air in front of you all, several stools appear for you all to sit. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Dorith Nee, I am glad you've made your way here to talk.
Kazador, a pleasure.
Ah, Kazador, you are the captain of the Nautiloid, yes? Kaintir told me that they inspected your vessel. Quite an impressive haul, though I would have sunk it into the phlogiston myself were it me. I respect it.
I can't take all the credit for such a fine vessel. After all, it did belong to Ibiknal before me.
Roll me an intimidation check, this is not like, oh yeah, I'm actively trying to scare you, but this is like Kazador's...
It's a bit of a flex.
Yeah, it's Kazador's confidence and how is he selling himself? How well is he selling himself here?
27.
Holy shit!
The eyes don't go like
Dang.
wide. It's not a, oh my god, but there is a smile that cocks in the corner of Joarth's face. Ah, it's good that you know when to compliment yourself and take credit for such actions. The Arcanist himself, you say? Well, I've never believed them to be too much of a threat in combat, but their contributions to the Mind Flayer warfront has been detrimental, let's say. So I give you my deepest congratulations. And there is very clearly a sort of warming to Kazador with that one. Kind of leans across the desk a little bit further, kind of like giving the air of conspiratorial, but not actually speaking quietly or in a way that is actually, just sort of acting more familiar. You seem like quite the enterprising individual. And given the fact that you've made it here to the Nosis cluster, and seemingly very clearly speaking in exacting comment, you have some sort of air about you, yes. Capable. Motivated. I like this. I can work with this. Dorith Nee, what is your business bringing me this captain? Dorith Nee kind of, well, I was hoping that we could come to some sort of agreement. Either I would work alongside them, so I would not have to work alone, or if you had a job for them that you feel is better suited, perhaps my debt could be shifted. Looks at Kazador a little bit nervously, as if he's unsure if you'll back him up in this moment.
Xoruk will send a quick message telepathically to Kazador.
Be firm with your declarations, but make them known.
My crew is indeed quite capable. I understand there may be a way we could aid each other.
Nods, has a little bit of a cocked smile on. Yes, you'll do very nicely. Very well, Dorith Nee, consider your debt shifted. Should this good captain here agree to work with me?
I see no reason not to at the moment.
Lovely. Dorith Nee, you're excused. It's a long pause. Dorothy looks at you, and he would stand up, and he places a hand on Kazador's shoulder. And Kazador, you feel a mental connection appear once again. Don't trust anything he says. I'd rather take on the debt again than you putting Xoruk in danger.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I think Kazador would do his level best to not react physically to that information. Just keep his expression placid.
And takes the hand away. Captain Kazador, I thank you for your generosity. It will not be forgotten or unnoticed. Xoruk begins to head out.
Xoruk will simply give him a nod.
Kind of pause at the door before turning. Kithrak Jorth. Jorth just gives him like a little bit of a hand wave, like the, all right, go on. Before Dorith does like a half bow and leaves the room.
Quick mental connection from Xoruk to Dorith.
I'll be certain to stop by again before we leave, Dimples.
Sorry.
There's a bit of a pause before, I owe you one again.
He'll give kind of a warm feeling towards him, but then break the connection.
Well, that definitely clears some things up. This has suddenly gotten much easier. What do you all know of the Mala? Or the Mirha? Xoruk, Mirha, is the literal translation for crystal, and is also the term for the crystal that is mined out of the skull. The local term.
Telepathically to Kazador.
Those are the crystals that the skull has pierced the skull.
Specifically, really quick correction, not the spires that have been stabbed into, specifically the crystals that were once the brain of this creature.
So the colored...
Yeah, the colored crystals.
He'll make the correction, but send that to Kazador in hopes that Kazador perhaps would reply.
You mean the crystals on the interior?
Ah, lovely. I appreciate an educated individual. Yes, the Mirha. It is what makes the kind of gestures with their hand a little bit, as if as if waving something off, that sort of situation. The mists is the term, correct? They very clearly know the term and are just sort of posturing here.
Really quickly, when he says the mists, Vex visibly tenses.
Smiles.
But says nothing.
The gestures once more, but looks at Xoruk when he says this. Gelzor, which means mind fire. Gelzor being the term for the ambient sort of fog and or mist and or nebula-like substance that emanates off the crystals and the spires that sort of enshrouds the entirety of the Gnosis cluster. It is also what makes the inside of it warm and what makes the whole place hospitable.
Xoruk will kind of nod for, again, telepathically reaching towards Kazador.
Ask plainly and bluntly what it is he wants. Assert yourself. You are equals.
What is it exactly that you want from us?
Smiles. Getting to the point, I see. Very well. There's been frustration lately, as tensions have picked up heavily between crews like my own and the Geik, as they have grown more bold. I am frustrated with the Talakma'ir. The Talakma'ir, translating for audience and Xoruk, to Fellowship of Freedom, and is the term for the local individuals, the groups who have lived here for some time.
More or less the people who... the community name.
Yeah, the community name. The Talakma'ir have heavily restricted the access to Mirha recently. There has been a chokehold placed, and only a very small amount is available to anyone at any given time, with limits placed on how much anyone can get. Given that we're in the middle of a war, you can understand how this is not ideal. But
I can understand that.
it has come to my attention that there is a location nearby within the Gelzor itself that could be the answer to our problems. I have not made a move for it myself, for I represent a large part of the Rathki, being that I am a well-known this organization. It kind of laughs at that organization group, as well as the Talakma'ir and the Charaith Khan. All three of these groups have interest, and having recently found out about this location, I wish to make a move. However, due to these, let's say, social obligations to maintain the peace here as a large captain, I have not made a move so as not to upset the balance. But as a neutral party, I believe you all would serve quite well in retrieving this. Or scouting the location, whichever. We are not quite certain exactly what exists there. I only recently discovered its existence.
What,
Yes.
if any information do you have about this?
Thanks to a certain individual within the... Well, I don't wish to out them. Kind of smiles. Thanks to some information I've been given, I know the name is referred to. The Charaith Khan Zerthahan referred to it as the Par-Evrekal. Revrilkal, the Par-Evrekal. Pain stopped. Looks towards the group of you translating it.
What was that? The power of Relka?
Pa-Revrikal. And it's a more Gith language.
Yay!
The Parevrakal.
Pa-Revrikal. Pain stopped. It is believed to be the crystallized heart of this being, gestures are like downwards towards where the skull would be in reference to the ship. Since you're new here, I do not mind explaining why we have not moved. I do not wish to start a extended, protracted conflict with the Charaith Khan. You are not familiar with them, but Jet looks at Xoruk. I imagine your ally here would be. The Charaith Khan are a religious order that exists here in Gemir Hanakazor. It is a group that believes in a false truth, in my opinion. They think that this skull belongs to Zerthamon, a foolish notion of a misled cult. But nonetheless, they have numbers and they have zeal. They have always viewed the taking of the Mirha as sacrilege. And after many conflicts with the Talak Ma'ir, have managed to slow the distribution of the Mirha. But with supplies dwindling, a war on our plates, and the Talak Ma'ir being obstinate, we need to come up with other solutions. This Crystal Heart, which is all I know at the moment, is considered holy ground for this organization, but it could provide what is needed. You understand, yes?
How much would I know about what happens to the bodies of these gods whenever they die?
Oof, Arcana check.
Because I just want to see if there's like any credence to these rumors that I've heard
After that
of.
as well, Leah, I'd like to make an insight check when possible.
Yeah.
That is a
Roll an
soft
insight
20.
check and we'll get to that. Soft 20. Looking at the inside, like having seen the inside of the skull, you've never seen anything like that before, where living tissue seemingly crystalline. It's very unique. It's very interesting. It's not something that is described in much literature or much history or much magical knowledge or research. That being said, as far as you're aware, the giant bodies that exist in the Astral Sea and various places throughout the many realms, are the bodies of long dead and or forgotten gods, and they were all gods of things, unique things, individual things. All of them have different properties to them, different things that the gods did, and it affects the area around them to an extent.
Gotcha.
Owing to the fact that there is crystal in the brain, there isn't much else as far as the limbs, etc. go, but this organ did crystallize. It doesn't seem unreasonable that another organ might have.
And it would also make sense that this Parevrakal, as they call it, would in fact, or might in fact contain some fragment of power.
If the brain does, which is kind of what this person is telling you and describing, there is a good chance it would, if it is true.
Gotcha. This is Kazador just sort of cross-referencing information that he knows with what he's hearing right
Mhm.
now.
It's definitely possible, especially in the Astral Sea. There's so much possible out here. You have no information that would outright refute.
Xoruk is going to...
Yeah. I was just going to get to your insight check. So go ahead.
Xoruk with that insight is specifically going to be looking into this captain, trying to identify if the reason why he pressed Dorithni for the debt now and is now dismissive of Dorithni instead pressing Kazador is because he knows that Xoruk, being a Githzerai specifically, would have a better standing with worshippers of Zerthamon.
You think you nailed it right on the head.
Got it.
With
Okay.
his eyes keep shooting over towards Xoruk. It's subtle. It's not immediately obvious, but looking out for it with that suspicion in mind, you notice he keeps looking towards you. I think with a 22, you also get the sense that there's a little bit of desperation, right? Like, he was going to do this to Dorithni. Now a better opportunity's presented itself, and he's putting the pressure on pretty hard.
A message, telepathic message to Kazador.
Captain, he is desperate. You have the advantage. You may choose your price.
Now, there's something that Kazador had given
Zero
almost no thought to. Is, oh, right, what am I getting for this, even?
It could just be a favor.
Yeah,
You
honestly.
could cash in.
Yeah.
If you don't want a price, that's fine. Just, again, Xoruk is trying to be like, make sure you know and stand up for yourself. You state what you want in return, if anything, or why you're doing this, is the idea.
And also, we are here to, like, learn, like, if there's any lead to, like, who attacked us. So, if this person knew anything, like, maybe the reward could be they tell us, but...
Maybe
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe make a assist a payment, not only helping Dorithni's debt, but maybe they can set up a meeting between us and Chorazil.
And we know this person.
We know Chorazil is the one we need for the information regarding the attack on us.
Yeah. And I will I will try to remember to put all the names into the Roll20 so that people can have spelling.
Yeah, I'm slowly filling it out. And the person we're talking to right now is
Joarth.
Joarth, yeah.
I think I've been pronouncing it. I pronounced it the first time Joe, but it's Jo.
It's Joarth. And we know that Joarth knows Chorazil and can get us in with them.
They likely know. It seems...
Dorithni said that they were working together, and also the two of them are docked on the same spire.
But also, it seems like Joarth is kind of the biggest mover and shaker out here for us.
In lieu of traditional payment, I'd like to ask you for a favor.
Cocks an eyebrow.
There's a matter with which we need to speak to a Chorazil about.
Ah.
We do this for you. I would like for you to set that up for us.
Looks at you, kind of looks you up and down, smiles. Well, I don't like owing someone. So I will add one more piece to this. Should you assist us in this endeavor, and should you pay off the debt of Dorithni, I will not only introduce you to Githzerai, is a old war companion of mine. I will personally induct you into the Vakithrakki. Vakrafki. My bad.
So much Githyanki language.
I spent a lot of time translating shit. I'm gonna get it right.
I like to imagine that, like, behind all of this, Hakka and Vex are, like, scribbling down notes. What do you think do you think this spelled right? Is this not spelled right? What did you get? What was your approximation?
I put 2 Ks.
So Xoruk is trying to help you, but he keeps writing in the circle language rather than the language you're using.
Oh man, that's so funny. That's so good.
What is the semicircle? Is that supposed to be like a J?
Why did I?
At all? Oh, that's
Why-
a C.
Why didn't I prepare tongues this day? Wait, tongues doesn't help with writing. No.
For Xoruk, you would know that the Vakithrakki, also known as seeping through the stars, it's a joke on a term that is in Githyanki, that is seeping through the seams. That's the term for plane shifting in Githyanki. Seeping Through the Stars is an organization of basically a coalition of Gith pirates who sort of have agreed not to attack each other and vaguely operate under one sort of shared banner. They are not it's not exactly like a pirate coalition, but it's basically like a pirate coalition.
They're flying a flag that would mark them as not enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Xoruk would kind of give a more alerted message to Kazador.
Understand, Captain. They invite you into the Vakratki. They are inviting you to a coalition of Gith pirates. Whether or not you want that as a part of your association or your title is up to you. But I want to give you warning. It will have rewards and consequences.
Your offer is indeed generous, but at this time we have no need of the Vakratki.
There's almost like a look of impressed on them. They seem not taken aback, but more intrigued that you said no. Then a favor is all you want.
A favor for a favor. Is that not usually how these things go?
It is when the people I work with are honorable. And to that, stand up, huge imposing figure, lean an arm across the table. Shra'kt'lor, Kazador.
Xoruk will translate for him. It's an honorable greeting that you would reply back with the same.
Shra'kt'lor.
And reaches out for a handshake.
He extends his limp, emaciated, muscle hand. There's a very stark contrast between these two.
Yep. Smiles a little bit. Very well then, consider my ship as a safe ground for you in the meantime. Should you have any questions or need of repairs on your own vessel.
I thank you.
Kind of finishing up some of Vex's drink, Xoruk will stand up and look towards you, Kazador, his hands resting on the knife hilts as though he's ready to move forward with the mission.
Oh, and before you leave, my spell traders are down in the Galaxy. If you let them know that I sent you, they will give you fair trade on anything you may need.
Ooh. I may just take you up on that.
Smile. They give a almost conspiratorial smile.
Xoruk, knowing that the longer we stay here, the more information they might glean from us, which is not ideal now in this stage of negotiation, will move towards the door and open it as though to guide and politely open the door for his captain, Kazador.
Before, as you all are leaving, Taraith Kanzarn, and begins to
in butchered Githyanki, just
Try son.
you points to Xoruk.
You must teach me Githyanki.
It is not Githyanki. It is Gith.
Apologies, but I wish to learn your language.
This can be arranged.
Thank you.
As like we're walking out.
Yeah, Kazador will float up and out of his chair and give a slight bow for turning it.
I do like the idea that Kazador is kind of just like extra, just floating around because this is a fun opportunity for him to float.
Yeah, he really likes experimenting with new stuff. It's like, oh, weep.
And I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break as you all exit out the vessel and return back to the center of the Gnosis cluster itself.
We are at the timing. We are at the timing for a break. If we want to take a break.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say take a break here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Woohoo!
Connor, high fucking five.
Great job, y'all. I'm gonna say for everyone, hero points across the board. Everyone
Let's
gets one.
go.
God, I will say Hakka is so out of his element right now. Although, yeah, there is something that I do want to do with Hakka as we're leaving, but it's fine. We can pick up.
We'll get to it after the break.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Related, unrelated. There's something that I would also like to do once the party is out of sight, out of mind of all non-party parties.
All non-party parties. Yep.
All non-party parties.
Party of four. Party of four.
You know, a group of peacocks is called a party.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Are you trying to imply something, Thero?
A party of peacocks. That's what it's called.
That was called a sausage fest.
Well,
Peacocks are so pretty, but they are so fucking loud.
Oh yeah. Do you want to be a cowboy? Do you want to be a cowboy? If anybody's seen that video, you get a cookie.
Yummers.
But hi, chat. How you doing? How you liking the show?
Connor, I would like to shake your hand again. That was incredible.
I return. Zan, you've been doing a great job as well.
Leah, you've been doing a great job.
Thank you. Saris, you've been doing a great job.
Not me. I've been
There's
doing a
Scott.
shit job.
Thero, you've been
Pick it up.
You're fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say your performance is coming up a little short.
Dun dun.
Thero, you're the best of us.
One of these days. I'm just getting that video.
Thero, you're the best of us.
I don't. You don't have to do like aftercare when you fucking jab me with jokes. It's fine.
Aftercare, oh my god.
You don't have to fucking just like kick me in the balls and then do aftercare. It's fine. It's okay.
That's how I can tell Leah's a service top.
Oh my god.
Hey! You're not wrong! But come on!
What'd that beanbag do?
Currently, he's sitting on a salad bowl right now.
Is this
He's just sitting on it, not eating it?
Yes, he does this all the time.
What a fucking hero.
this is right?
He will just sit on top of his food and not eat it. He just does
You
that.
gotta make sure that it smells like him and that no one else is gonna take it.
So true.
Also, Chad, this is the video I was talking about. Fucking love this video. You a cowboy? Are you a cowboy?
Oh, we have been joined. Hello.
He's trying to eat it in a South Park way? What the? When in South Park do they eat salad through their bellies?
Oh,
No, they're trying to Monster House eat it, their salad.
For your collective amusement, speaking of food, my dog has identified the area of the carpet of which I dropped the entire panned pizza and is now digging. He is searching
He
for
smells.
panned pizza. He smells it and he is searching. He is not successful, but he is trying so hard right now, y'all.
How is everyone doing?
Good.
Chillin'.
I do appreciate, as an aside, Thero and Zan, thank you for jumping on my little bit.
Why is Gith such a weird language?
I have yet to figure out why it reads... What, is it counterclockwise or is it clockwise? I don't know.
And then for some odd reason they use Roman numerals.
Yep.
Just to really complicate things. Yeah. How and shoot with me straight, Leah. How
Yo.
long would it take to learn Gith?
So I allow learning of skills and stuff over various for various things. So it can either be during downtime. You can potentially do it. You can potentially do it as part of like a meta reward. For example, if you have something happen where like mental connection with like it might be that sort of thing. It could, but if you were just like straight up learning it, I mean, how long does it fucking take to learn a language, right? Like
couple years, I think.
But you do have
It depends. It depends on what your resources are. It depends on how much exposure you have to the language.
Mm-hmm.
Because depending on how much exposure you have to the language, you could be speaking it at a B2 rate within a couple months. For reference, that is upper intermediate.
Okay. And the thing is, Hakka does have 19 intelligence, so right.
Damn, you're a fucking genius.
Come on.
There's reasons for that.
Yeah, there was a thing. There was a thing that happened.
Good.
Let's
a
not
thing
discuss
happened. Yeah, a thing happened, and Hakka went from.
Well, I mean, that wasn't Icewind Dale. That was just something that fucking had. That was when y'all took the Mind Flayer ship.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it publicly on Blue Sky, but
Hey,
go dig for it.
Hey, if you're a conlanger who's experienced at making constructed languages, and you're listening to this, please do some more work with the Gith language. There's so little for us to actually take.
I had to fucking haul. Like, I had to do some fucking heavy lifting to get some words that I wanted in this language.
Do you want some references and resources? Hi, I taught Conlang at the bachelor's level in my master's degree. Hi, would you like some references and resources on how to do it?
I don't want to do the work. I got enough on my plate.
I've been doing the work. It's a lot.
I've done that as a DM before, where it's like, okay, 6 hours of research done. Oh fuck, I gotta make a map.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because there are some tips and tricks that make doing it easier. If you put in like the hard work at the beginning in creating the foundation for your language, there are specific things that like
yeah, for me it's dissecting the foundation of the language they've already giving.
I just think it's gonna lead to good bits with Xoruk and Hakka.
100%.
Where
also,
no matter how good,
if you're open to it, I would like to jump in as well as Vex because I think that's fun.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna pick back up with. I'm gonna do Hakka first, then go to Vex immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, like real talk, Leah. If you ever want to talk conlang stuff, if you want me to throw like resources and references at you to make
I was actually going to talk to you about it after the session. I just wanted to not spoil anything for the session before I started talking to you about 100%.
Sure, absolutely. I hear you loud and clear.
Which I hope everyone's been enjoying. I personally have felt a little stumbly this session, but I'm
dude, this rocks.
I'm glad you think so. I'm ready to go whenever. No rush, no pressure.
I'm ready.
I got my water, I got my snackies, I got my notes.
My cat is currently melted on my arm and is slowly falling asleep, but...
Oh, what a baby.
One.
Well, thank you all for sticking with us with the late break, but we will get back to it here.
Ram. Also, Downer Days, thank you for the follow.
Oh.
If everyone is good to go, speak now or forever hold your pieces of candy.
I'm good. I'm just eating this hamburger.
Burger. We are going to pick back up as the party exits the ship of Githzerai, the Tlakalakcha, Spirit of the Shard, behind you, and the spiral staircase heading into the Gnosis cluster itself, descending below. Hakka, you wanted to do something.
just kind of like, definitely like Vex and Xoruk can hear this, but addressing Kazador, just Hakka would kind of blurt out as we're walking away, just
takes you back, doesn't it?
I can see what you're saying, yes.
Unfamiliar place. Meet this person, do this. Meet with that person to learn that. This chore. That arbitrary task.
Though thankfully
Even though
not
we're
as cold.
Funny that the void of the astral sea, not cold and frigid. As Bremen.
Remember the lake?
Remember the knucklehead trout we had to fish for?
I do remember.
And being bullied by the Zentarum?
He just shakes his head. Well, enough reminiscing.
No matter where we go, there are still outlaws and pickpockets and
Yes,
heathens.
however, it seems this time we are on the opposite side of that argument.
Seems so. I feel a bit of wanderlust is all. I frankly can't wait to see where this leads.
I agree.
You handled yourself well in there, Captain. Apologies if my suggestions were intrusive.
Your aid was most welcome, Xoruk. It allowed me to build a base for how these things are supposed to go in the future.
With Gith, but really any force inside the astral sea and around it. It is a duel, these conversations. It is not a exchange of ideas, it is testing of one's will and power to enact on that will. You handled yourself well.
Gothrak Joarth seemed impressed.
As he should be. As am I.
He just smiles a bit at that.
Also, what was that drink you made for Vex?
A spiced skull, a local delicacy of sorts. Similar to a mixture of tea and a calming... It's not a good translation. It is similar to a spirit of kinds. It calms the nerves while enhancing certain physical senses.
I would wish to try it sometime.
He will nod at you.
Saris, Vex, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, kind of tagging along this, once the party gets to a place where they are all by themselves.
Yeah, you probably descend past the Ja'Arziel's ship, the other Gith Yankee ship that's like on the same dock where there are the other people kind of milling about, and you descend past that, and there's a long section of this pillar, basically, this stairwell where you guys are alone.
Vex is going to sort of like pause and clear their throat just to get the crew's attention. Now that we're by ourselves, it seems that we are potentially moving ourselves into more, shall we say, exploratory and otherwise potentially dangerous situations. And let's just say I would like to take a precautionary measure towards not just
protecting our minds, so to speak, but maintaining lines of communication amongst the four of us. Vex is going to reach into one of their bags and pull out what appears to be 3 silver earrings that appear to be shaped like a raven's feather. And we'll hold one of them each out to the 3 of you.
What is this?
Kazador will take one.
So, this earring has the ability to allow us to communicate with each other regardless of distance. And unlike spells... Bless you.
Oh, hey, sorry.
Unlike spells that, such as, I believe message is one of them, that have limitations on, shall we say, word counts and the amount that can be contained within a singular message. So long as the 4 of us are wearing these earrings, we are able to hold full conversations with anyone else wearing a paired earring. You can also do additional things that are of a similar sort, but to a far more limited degree.
Hakka would point to the side of his head, and Vex, you would notice, like, you have ears. Kazador and Xoruk has ears. Hakka does not have external ears.
Don't worry about it. We can just... And, like, the way that I like to imagine it, right, is, like, Vex will walk over to you and, like, clip it to the side of your mask.
Yeah, I think you can clip it to the side of the mask and it'll function, or you can hang it off one of the horns.
Okay, yeah, alright. That's...
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah, I understood as soon as I mentioned it, but I figured it wouldn't be that much of a difficulty. It's not like it has to be, shall we say, physically attached in that sort of way, more just on your person and close to, I guess in your case, ear holes?
Xoruk will mage hand the earring to his hands and reopen an old piercing in the lobe of his ear to put it in.
Little tiny prick of pain before getting it through.
Doink.
Take 1d4 damage.
Take 1.
Yeah! 1 damage, Vorpal.
Cuts
One
off
damage,
Zoruk's head.
Oh no! No!
You have the bloody mess perk on.
Oh, God.
In my 3.5 days, we made Vorpal sewing needles once. That was fun.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 3-5.
But thank you for this, Vex.
Not a problem. Like I said, I'd rather take a precautionary measure, especially if, in the case we do get separated, and, shall we say, mind links aren't exactly the most accessible thing for all of us.
This seems quite useful. Thank you, Vex.
Of course.
A wise tactic, Vex.
It's quite literally saved my life once, so it is not necessarily something that I take lightly, for sure.
Noted. That being said, Captain, I'd like to advise you further about the situation here.
Sorry, I spaced out there for a second. Could you read that?
You're all good.
I would like to advise you about the situation here, Captain.
Yes, go on.
He'll kind of look not as certain of himself as he usually does before kind of trying to get back to his centered, more controlled being.
To put it bluntly, there aren't many of my kind outside of Limbo. Githzerai are somewhat of a rarity. They're often seen as a curiosity rather than an active Gith in the Astral Sea. Githzerai, maybe the third Githzerai, is one by the name of Zerthamon. My people consider them the highest of deities for us to aspire to. It is not coincidence that Dorith and now you have been pressed in the ways that you have. If the potential hurdles ahead are blocked or placed by followers of Zerthamon, that is likely why they were desperate to seek out Dorith and now you, Captain, to get to me. There aren't many who would be able to speak their language, as it were.
I see.
But if there are followers of Zerthamon here, if you thought that was a duel of wits and wills, then you are certainly in for a much larger fight ahead. They will not believe you unless you are certain of every word and every part of your sentence, any question of doubt, and they will not respect you. Make ready your words and your thoughts, all of you, if we have to move ahead against them.
Kazador just takes a deep breath, and as he exhales, like a plume of like frozen air will escape from his mouth. Very well.
Right then. I shall lead the way. If I know
Hakka.
where to go.
I need you to act scary for me.
Darrow?
I know.
Oh,
Shocking.
sorry, I thought you were talking to Xoruk. Like,
No, he said
I,
Hakka.
I said Hakka. I need you to look scary for me.
I thought I'd do that reflexively. Or naturally, rather.
Then keep doing what you're doing.
As
Maybe
you
keep
say
that
that,
mouth of yours shut, however.
Very well.
Vex, you were saying?
I'm so sorry. I thought he was finished. As Kazador, as you say, I need you to look scary. Yeah, I would like to use for fun one of my invocations, and seemingly, as you say that, Kazador, you ask Hakka to be, scary as usual. His shadow grows just slightly longer as I use my invocation Misty Visions to make with Silent Image to make his shadow look longer and gnarlier.
Is there like a visual indication of you using this? Like, do your eyes glow?
Yes.
Is there? Yeah.
There's like the way that I would imagine this is, number one, the book that is hooked to my waist begins to like have this almost inky haze about it, and you see for a moment what almost, if you blink you would miss it. There's like this almost, dare I say it, like dark ethereal almost force that kind of slips out of it, like something has literally physically dropped out of the book, and then the shadow just lengthens.
As you all see that happen,
Kazador looks from Hakka to Vex, and raises an eyebrow. I'd be able to pretty easily identify that as
Yeah,
a silent
yep.
image,
With
Yeah,
your
100%.
magical knowledge, no doubt.
Yeah. Hakka doesn't realize it, and you just look at him weird, and he's like,
What?
Seems Vex here is keen to give you some aid on that front.
They just smile.
yeah. Hakka will turn to Vex, just like, well,
Yes, they are. They are a mighty warrior and have powerful magics.
Indeed.
completely missing what had happened. Like Hakka's just like, yeah.
I would say with your passive perception, you look over and you see them, and they're standing next to your shadow, which looks weirdly long right now.
It's space. Shadows can be weird.
I love Hakka.
The 19 intelligence does not fix his personality, I'll say.
Well, if we should move on then, I would recommend if we attempt any sort of negotiations or persuasions, you make your intention and your desires known first. They will counter with their intentions and desires, and then you negotiate. Do not ask questions before this is done. It is seen as a sign of weakness.
Very well. Xoruk mentioned they had people selling things in here.
Yes, the spells, sell spells, I think they were called.
You would know the name for it. It is spell traders.
Spell traders, that's it.
Yep, spell traders, and it is specifically a role often given to a quartermaster on a ship, and it is just used for basically trading or selling off any excess treasure, goods, magic items that are not needed or wanted by the crew.
Yes, of course, Captain. Spell traders. If you believe that we are mal-equipped for this, then I can guide you there.
I could use some spell components. Would they sell those there?
It might be best to shore up our supplies before we head out on this. You never know what we may need.
Then for the sake of practice, Captain, make your intentions and orders known.
Then let's head to these spell traders.
Very well, Captain.
And Xoruk will guide him.
As you finally exit the tower-like spire on into the Galact once more, the kind of bustle and noise and volume immediately raises as you are brought again once more into the bustling conversational hub of this of the Nosis cluster. There are a lot of different locations in here, I guess, for lack of a better term, or parts of the turning music down really quick, parts of the floor, I guess, for lack of a better term, that you're on. The center area that you kind of met Dorith, and the other captain in earlier is that central section here, the blades, and Dorothy's ship is this one over here. But the various tents and other ships in here represent other crews or other ships that have settled in and are plying their wares. There is a section of tents, and that is the section over here, where it looks like a group of several different spell traders have gathered and are kind of talking goods between them, but occasionally someone from another crew kind of walk over and they might do some trading. Occasionally someone will actually come down one of the towers and you will see the Talakma'ir, which is the local population, basically, the people here time. And they seem to be doing some trading with the spell traders as well. But as you all are approaching, I think it would be Relic. Oh, I almost said Relic just because that's on your name. Relic. Hi, Relic. Hakka and Xoruk. I think you two would recognize in and amongst these spell traders and the other people trading and talking here, there's a group of 3 individuals wearing, I want to say off-white robes. It's white robes, but they are, or actually, I'm going to say more tan cream with a strange sort of blade-like pattern across it and emblazoned on the neck. They have little symbols and trinkets and other such things that are hanging off of them, and the robe has sort of a feathered collar that again is shaped to almost look like blades around the neck. They look religious and not the religions that you would be used to here, Xoruk. There are active temples to Vlaakith and Zerthmon here. It's one of the few locations that has both. And they exist mostly in the Hatazvirsu, the Dead One's Tongue, which is a big cultural and religious center, and that is where the Chiraith Khan are. These people are not wearing attire that would be representative of any traditional Gith religious practice that you would immediately use. Hakka, I'm going to say you have a similar situation where you're seeing religious attire that you very clearly recognize as religious attire, partially because they have a bunch of other religious idols that are hanging off of the body in various locations. And as a trio, these 3 seem to be moving up towards individuals and kind of talking with them. And then, the conversation seems to die down, and then they'll move up to another group of individuals and kind of do the same sort of thing as you're approaching. Yeah?
There's multiple, religious icons on these guys?
Yeah, that are hanging off of them. Multiple religious icons.
Okay.
Like little fetishes, little reliquaries.
If this is what I think it is,
etc.
This is what I think it is. Oh shit.
And they are Gith. The 3 that are walking around Gith, and they seem to be approaching primarily other Gith, but pretty much anyone in this sort of trade market, this open market. And as you all are approaching, one of them, as they're kind of around, one of them's in conversation with a couple of other individuals, and the other one is kind of head on a swivel. This is the approaching. They would tap the other unattended one, the other one not talking to people, and the 2 of them begin making their way towards you. Well, that third one is talking to another.
Leah, you are cutting out a little bit.
About to say.
Yeah.
Oh shit! My bad.
It sounds like noise suppression.
Is it? Are we good now?
Yeah, I think you were just looking away from the mic when talking.
Yeah, I was just looking down as I talked there for a second.
Noise suppression is a bitch.
It's true.
Anyway,
where did I cut out?
We were able to hear you. It was like the last 10% of each word was being cut off.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah, I was just looking down.
So these characters with all these religious fetishes, is one approaching us, or is one taking note of us?
Yeah, there is one that's sort of talking to another person a little bit away, and the other 2 were kind of patiently standing behind. And one of them, head on a swivel a little bit, would notice your group approaching, tap the other one on the shoulder, and the 2 of them beeline, for lack of a better term, towards you. Not intently, not aggressively, but they definitely look like they are making their way in your direction.
Yeah, somebody we haven't talked to today.
Well, it's also this is
Pretty
the only
much.
group. I imagine this is the only group of Istics around, at least obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You imagine they've probably already harassed the other crew with a bunch of different individuals on it.
Xoruk, seeing them move forward, will like kind of trust Hakka and Vex that if they're gonna have to make their intentions known and their wills manifest, they're gonna have to do so on their own. That Xoruk will hand over his entire coin purse to Kazador.
I could take
Listen out.
point on this.
Go ahead. You first there.
Hakka would just say,
I could take point on this. It takes a zealot to know a zealot.
And kind of with that, unless Kazador or anyone else wanted to say anything. Wait.
Yeah, Kazador will nod at Hakka and will just be counting whatever coins he has now.
Amazing. The two seemingly religious acolytes approach, and as they approach, they both do a little bit of a half bow, not in exact unison, not like creepy unison, but they in tandem with each other.
Hello. It is a pleasure. I don't believe we have met before, but it is always a joy to meet people.
The pleasure is all mine.
I am Gear. This is Veer. We are thankful to have met you today.
You're thankful.
There's something really odd that stands out to you, Xoruk. They just introduced themselves as sister and brother. No, they said, like, I am Gear, this is Veer. That is, I am sister, this is brother.
Gotcha. So they
That's
introduce
what-
themselves as gotcha, like as in their names. Got it.
Hakka thinking their names.
Well, Gear and Veer. I
They
am
smile
Hakka.
as you call them that.
God, this is what it's like from the outside. I am Hakka Banemaw. I can't help but notice your abundance of symbols and iconography.
Roll a religion check.
1, 2, 3. Oh wait, let me make sure. Yeah, advantage is off. Soft 20.
Ooh.
A soft 20. Not only do you recognize that, you recognize that, like, specific certain icons that hang off of them, of gods in Faerun that you're familiar with, other ones that you aren't. But there is even on one of them what looks like an ancestor symbol that's hanging off.
And as Hakka is saying, like, iconography, he is looking through his component pouch and he pulls a scrimshaw with a very similar symbol.
So you're aware of the Sorcerer religion as well? Curious.
They look between each other.
We are aware of many things. We believe that to know one is to know, and to know all is to know one.
So is this exchanging of meeting people, is this some pilgrimage? Is this some sort of penance from your religion?
Oh, no, nonetheless. You see, we are followers.
They pause a little bit, almost like waiting for a question or anything like that before one of them continues.
Carry on.
We are here on behalf of the following. We hail from Sigil, and it is our great honor, duty, pleasure to bring this knowledge to us. Our lives would be lesser were someone not to have reached out to us to show us the true path. But it is now fallen onto us. We have taken it upon ourselves, like many in the following, to find others, to bring our peace and our love to those without.
And if one does not wish to follow down the same path, what do you do?
They seem confused.
Well, we wait. You understand we are not violent. No, far from. In fact, we advocate for nonviolence across the planes. Zvir here. Zvir was non-believing, and there had doubts, as all of us do when we first learn. It is the way it is. You are so tied to your ways, you are so locked down in how you have lived amongst the worlds up till now that why you haven't experienced something.
Kind of baiting them.
I see. And this person, or this creature, or whatever it is you're following, it takes place in Sigil, yes?
I suppose they kind of laugh and look at each other. I suppose that's our follower in Sigil, yes. We follow his path every day. We have not yet grown convicted enough. They look at you, Xoruk, for that. To follow his path entirely. He seems to be far further than any of us could possibly dream. But we hope that one day we will get there, and it is our joy to bring this knowledge to others, because had someone not told us, we would have lived in ignorance. You may not listen now, but you will think about us.
Consider
Go
my
ahead,
curiosity piqued.
As many are. If you wish to learn about our plight for peace across the realms, well, simply seek out a follower of Sigil. We are easy to identify. And they gesture at each other.
Very well.
Look across the group of you. Have you any questions?
So sorry, we're on a tight schedule.
Hakka begins to move.
Yeah, you see the third one starting to come up from behind the other two, starting to walk like, ooh.
And when we get out of earshot, Hakka's gonna be like,
I've smelled a lot of bullshit in my day.
just kind of says that to the party.
I've never heard of this follower.
Preaching non-violence and pacifism. So you could just be a coward and pack yourself on the back foot.
Now,
Hmm?
let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've only just heard of these followers.
I've seen blind loyalty. I've seen zealotry. I've seen good young men be convinced to do wretched things in the name of some order and some spiritual conviction. Religion can be a tool, Kazador, but if it's pointed inwards, it can become an explosion of devastation. I'm curious about this follower, but I'm curious about the destruction it could possibly cause. I've heard... Yeah, sorry.
You raise valid
just
points.
I used to be like that, is all.
You do raise valid points. However, for the time being, we have a goal here.
Yeah. Yes, let's go.
Also, I need to do something. Thero themselves needs to do something above board. Ah! I'm okay. I can't say anything, but Leah, you
Smiles.
motherfucker.
Smiles. You all make your way into the market proper. I will say, Xoruk, you can very easily recognize, and Vex too, to an extent, can very easily recognize where the spell traders are and what they're vaguely plying. You would also know, Xoruk, that there's a larger building sort of built into the side of the skull, almost, with a tower right next to it, where a very, very, very old Talakma'ir lives, who does a lot of ship work and that kind of thing. Is not the reason why, but is a portion of the reason that this is called the ship. So the things that you can find here is you can go to any of the spell traders that you would like to go to and potentially barter for goods and services. You can potentially go to the old Talakma'ir, which is Talakma'ir being the name of the people here, potentially for ship parts or upgrades or weaponry and on that kind of situation. Other than that, it seems like there's a vague open market with like some people selling like the loosest of street vendors situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Xoruk will now hand over the entirety of his coin purse to Kazador.
How much does that consist of?
5,412 gold.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, holy shit.
But before I sell it, would anybody need this?
I hold out the laser rifle. Does anybody in the group want it?
I don't think
so.
I don't think I need this. And I need diamonds to make sure I can revive any of you if the situation calls.
I don't need it.
Very well.
Without much problem, Xoruk can point out the specific spell trader that is most likely associated with, and you do confirm, so like you're not just doing business with some random person, but is associated with Gothrak's Jorth's ship. So you find the individuals that you are vaguely, and begin to apply trade. Hakka, do we have a price down for that, or is it just you have laser rifle?
Laser rifle. I got it from Ibik.
Who is spearheading the trading?
Probably me.
In which case, I will have you roll a charisma check of your kind, if you like, deceiving with how good it is, or persuading.
I will roll persuasion.
And you're already getting a pretty good deal.
Oh no!
I'll use a hero point.
A hero point.
You should use handle animal.
Okay.
I did it. That's 22.
That's much better.
22. With a 22, there is some very quick discussion between you and the individual. They seem very quickly amiable to giving you a good deal due to your association with the captain or the Gothrak, so that they give you the best deal they can give you, as well as giving you access to just about anything that they would have access to. I will say, Pharaoh, you can get 2 diamonds worth 300 each for the laser rifle, or 1 diamond worth 500.
Oh, well, I was hoping to get 1,000.
You're hoping to get 1,000?
Because I don't. Well, 500 is for Raised Dead, right?
Yeah.
I'll take that?
Raised Dead is more than reasonable.
Yeah. 500 gold, not gold diamond. Jesus, 500 diamond. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they will trade it for a 500 diamond. A very happy Gith pirate, just like in the back.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I hear a Wilhelm scream off in the distance.
Well, that's some insurance.
Is there anything else they're offering?
They're offering various goods, basic goods, and that sort of thing. Anything that you'd be interested in. I would say really, really basic magical equipment. Like if there's a common or uncommon item, they would most likely either have access to it. If you want something specific, we will roll chances on whether or not they have it in trade. And then they have a few things that are very specific that they have in trade.
Do they have any Quicksilver?
Any Quicksilver? I'm going to say there's a 90% chance they have Quicksilver. Roll me a D100. You want 90 or lower.
That is a 46.
Yes, absolutely. Have a good stock of it.
I would like to purchase 500 gold's worth.
Absolutely. Yeah, they hook you up with it.
Alrighty.
I will say you can write down 500 gold worth and only spend 400.
Ooh.
What's the street food situation like?
So it's actually kind of interesting. You're like, I wonder what the food is, because you look around and there's no animals that you immediately recognize here, right? When you go up to one of the vendors, there is a kind of grill that's sort of been set up. It has the little covering over top of it, the various foodstuffs in the back, and it looks like they're grilling again what looks like vines and fungus of a kind.
4, please. And I just point.
You want 4?
Yeah. Hakka holds up one hand, realizes it's 3 fingers on one hand, and then holds up another finger with one hand.
Okay, I just wanted to check. Here.
And they're skewers, basically, like kebabs, and it's just mushrooms and what looks like chunks of vine that have been chopped up and sautéed.
How much will this run me?
They look at you confused.
What do you mean?
Do I have to pay for this?
For food?
Hey, check it out! This guy thinks you have to pay for food!
No.
A couple of the other vendors laugh.
Food's a fundamental right.
What?
Out here it might be.
Where I come from, it's not guaranteed. It's a scarcity.
On
And when it is not, they force you to pay for it.
Low turn at Xoruk.
Hakka's holding these kebabs in his hands, but he is having a crisis right now.
So you're
Xoruk's a little confused, like, what the fuck?
you're saying we've escaped to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space.
Space!
Well, here I got you each a skewer. What? Free food? But isn't there a limited quantity? What's to stop me from eating too much? Or hoarding all the food for myself?
Others.
He kind of just looks at you like, obvious.
Hakka's having a fucking crisis right now. But how does it taste, Leah?
It has a big umami flavor. Like it is very much in the sort of vein of unagi, grilled eel. That sort of flavor palette.
Yeah.
And it is grilled mushrooms, and they kind of have almost like an asparagus sort of taste and texture.
Ooh.
The vines do. And so it is ostensibly a skewer of asparagus and mushrooms that are grilled with sort of an eel sauce on top.
Oh, that's so good.
That sounds delicious.
I just made myself fucking hungry.
Me too. Thanks, Leah.
I can't believe the cosmos is woke. God damn it.
I did.
As you all... Oh yeah, go ahead. No, perfect.
No, sorry. I was actually curious about on the topic of spell components. Far be it
Absolutely.
for me to assume that they wouldn't have quote unquote anything. There's something I'm curious about because of a conversation that we had about, you know, hey, if you get a wonky spell component, things might happen. I'm just kind of curious. So we're at a food stand and there's plants. Is anyone selling any kind of seeds?
One's selling any kind of seed.
Are we gonna start a garden on the ship?
You and I have
Oh, hell
very
yeah.
different ideas of what to do with the seeds.
Roll me a D100, Paul high or low.
What are you gonna do with the seeds?
I said it very clearly. Spell components.
One of you is Karama, one of you is Nami. Figure out which one.
All right, here we go. And a high, I guess.
I was gonna say you want to call it before.
Oh, my bad. This is not something I'm used to doing.
No, you call higher low, then roll.
Do you want me to re-roll?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm calling high. Still low.
Still low. Called high, still low. They, as you're kind of talking, or as you kind of like ask, no one is actively. Do you ask, or are you just like look?
I think Vex would ask.
You would ask. There's almost a look of like, not exactly suspicion, but kind of confusion. They would. I will say this: no one here is selling it, but they would point you to this big, like, vine and ivy covered tower back here, where you see some of the local community, the Talakmair, are working and operating, and you get a sense that that might be sort of like a greenhouse or a farm of some kind for this substance.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So not here, but you do have a direction point to where you could find some.
Yeah. And unless anyone else wants to do anything, I do think Vex would poke over and see what's going on.
You all kind of gathering, eating some food. I want to check in and ask, is there anything anyone else wants to do or buy?
I'm just going to say, every stand that we pass, every kiosk with food, Hakka's gonna ask, like, I want that.
One, please.
I want that. One, please.
Hakka is the kid in Costco.
Yeah.
Not Costco.
Exactly.
Yeah, Costco. Is it?
Yeah, Costco
yeah.
gives samples.
Hell yeah.
Yep, Costco samples.
What is
I'm a
this?
Costco guy.
Just like Hakka like holds something up. It's just like, what in the nine hells is this? And it's just like a corn dog.
But because it's like the limited sources they have here for like a lot of the street vending. It's that vine that's dipped in some sort of like dried out flour substance and then fried.
Oh, hell yeah. Deep fried asparagus?
Yep, deep fried asparagus.
Yummy.
Good.
Which, that actually sounds really good, too.
Leah, please, I'm starving.
I'm sorry, but I do want to ask if is there anything anyone else wants to do in this sort of market area? Does anyone else want to look around for anything specific, ask for anything specific, or potentially buy anything specific or unspecific? If you're like, I want to see what cool shit they have, that's also fine.
I am good.
Yeah, I'm good on potions. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
In that case, as the group of you gather yourselves, gather your equipment, gather your newly purchased items, and begin to make your way towards the Hitaz of Irsu, the Dead One's Tongue, and potentially on your first job for anyone else within the cosmos. We're going to pick up there next time.
Aha!
Woo, that was so much fun. Oh my god.
That was pretty sick.
Yeah. Also, I didn't want to say, but the captain, big captain guy, Zoarth.
Zoarth. Yeah.
Zoarth. That one captain from Castlevania vibes. Very.
Yeah. I see it.
I could kill you and take your ship. Yeah, you could, but
you could.
That would be fucking stupid.
Love that guy.
Good shit, Leah. That was a blast.
That was a lot of fun.
I am glad that y'all enjoyed it. Genuinely.
Also, I forgot about the follower, but now I remember. And
hee hee hoo hoo, funny follower.
The funniest of followers.
Okay.
Well, regardless, thank you all so much for joining us, everybody, and I hope you had fun with this fantastic episode of Kazador's Guide to the Cosmos. And I hope you're hungry for more, because we're going to set off and we're going to see some action.
I'm just hungry.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want some
Very
asparagus
excited.
now.
Yeah.
I want some asparagus too.
But before we can get to asparagus, we need to de-introduce ourselves. Let's go around the horn and do that, starting with Zan. We're gonna find you, and what are you up to?
That's me first? That never happens.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You can catch me my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/XanillisGrimm, where on Mondays at 7 p.m. PST, I run a D&D game called Stalwart Souls. If you like space D&D, there's some there for you as well. Aside from that, twitch.tv/DistortionDevil right here at 1 p.m. PST on Tuesdays for some more Vecna Eve of Ruin run by the lovely Connor here. Then on Thursdays, twitch.tv/MontyGlue at 7 p.m. PST for some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We are level 16 and we're going into a new floor, so it's a good time to tune in. Then twitch.tv/DistortionDevil again, right back here, same bad time, same bad channel, at 3:30 p.m. PST for some more Kazador's Guide. You just heard it, so hopefully you like it. Hopefully you come back. Then on Saturdays, twitch.tv/TheUnexpectables at 6 p.m. PST for some more Gateway. If you like Fallout, it's getting really good. It's getting really saucy over there, so come check that out. And then last but certainly not least, this Sunday and every other Sunday, twitch.tv/BurnoutVon at around 3 p.m. PST. We have some more Those Who Wander. It's a lovely gothic horror Realms of Dread story run by Saris here. I'm a player in that, and Leah is also in it now. So, if that piques your interest, that will be there, and that's me.
God, we really double dip with each other.
Yeah.
Excellent. Up next, we've got Thero.
Hi, hello, that's me, TheropodArt. Y'all know what it is, Blue Sky, TheropodArt, all places TheropodArt, Lizard Fun Bags if you want to see the naughty stuff. New development, I forgot to mention this before, I'm on Art Fight. I'm doing Art Fight this year, so I'm gonna put my nose to the
ass.
I'm gonna put my nose to the grindstone and like try to like draw like somebody's character every day. Like I want to at least do like 30 characters like in 1 month. I'm gonna try. It's gonna be
goddamn.
I'm gonna try. It's gonna be. I might burn out. We'll see.
I believe in you.
That, I'm built different. I'm built stupid. Other than that, commissions. Give me money. I'll draw something. Other than that, besides this Kazador's Guide to Everything every Friday, I also play my big booby lizard lady on Tuesdays. It's fun time. Vecna, he's kind of a dick. That's me. Also, Connor, are we doing the art stream after this?
Yes.
Okay. In a bit, Unexpectables art stream. We talk about art.
Probably in about maybe 15 minutes after the stream goes off, we'll be heading over to the Unexpectables channel for the art stream. But yes. Up next, we've got Saris.
Hello! You can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl. Let's see here. This Sunday, we're over at Burnout Von's channel for those who wander. Monday, we're over at Skeleton Alpha's channel for some more Scrunkly Cat afternoons. And then from there, there's potential it's gonna be up the air, so we'll announce things as we need to. Other than that, I think that's me.
Yeah, alrighty. And of course, we couldn't do this at all without our wonderful GM, Amusing Thalia.
Hi. I am always thankful to be here. Monday, I am not here. I am on my channel at Amusing Thalia. Tuesday, my channel, Amusing Thalia. Wednesday, I don't really do anything. Thursday, don't really do anything besides bother Connor. Friday, I am here running this. Saturday, I am usually asleep till late into the day. And then Sunday, for now, I am bugging Saris and Zan at Burnout Von's channel for some Those Who Wander, and that has been a ton of fun. Check me out in those places if you want, or don't. I'm not your boss. And even if I was, don't listen to me.
Connor, what are you up to?
Me? Well, like I said, after this, I'm going to be going over to the Unexpectables for the art stream. And if there's time after that, then we're going to be playing some Marvel Rivals.
You know,
Marvel
Connor, you sound a
Rival.
little tired. Do you want to have some coffee or something to pick you up?
You know what? I would probably love to have some coffee, but I've already had 2 cups today. But if I was going to have more coffee, I would definitely have some Bones coffee from Bones Coffee Company. Bones. Straight. You can have your coffee bone full with Bones coffee, not boneless.
Bone in coffee? Damn.
Bone in coffee.
Bone in coffee. Bone marrow coffee, y'all.
Damn.
Blech.
That sounds like a thing that actually exists, and I don't.
Yeah, no, that
know how
kind
to
of
feel
does.
about
I'm
it.
scared now.
But
If it does, don't tell me about it.
I don't know if Bones Coffee Company offers bone marrow coffee, but they do offer all of their other flavors over at bonescoffeecompany.com. You can use code DistortionDevil to save 10% on your order. As well, if you've got a luxurious beard like myself and you want some fine products to take care of it, then head on over to Beard Sorcery. Pick up yourself up some oils, some balms, some comb and brush, shampoo, conditioner, all specifically formulated for your beard with a fantastical fantasy theme. And if you use code DistortionDevil, you can save 10% on your entire order. Limit 1 per customer. And as always, can't thank the people who support us enough with their bits and subs, including Stellar Coyote. Thank you for the 8 months. Zenlita, thank you for the 69 months. Nice.
Nice.
I'm not Stu.
I'm not Stu.
Papusa Monkey, thank you for the 76 months. I just survived a 6-hour car ride back home from a week working out of state without internet. Hit me with your mental cocaine devil man and his silly friends of merriment. Goddamn.
Well, I'm glad you're home safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And finally, Philip Chanter, thank you for the raid.
Speaking of raids.
Indeed, we've got to find somewhere to raid ourselves. Where?
Garrett's where?
You know what? Edward Bosco is currently doing Friday Night Flashbang, so let's raid Edward Bosco.
Bosco.
What should our raid
Can the raid
message
message
be?
be bone in coffee?
Bone in
Bone
coffee.
in coffee.
Amazing.
Bone in coffee.
Raid messages, bone in coffee, everybody. All right. Take care. We will see you next time. For now, have a goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, bye.